Frank Boranger stared hard at the ancient script. It just didn't make sense. If what his associate had told him was true about where this item had come from, the implications would be enormous. He leaned back in his chair, removing the reading glasses from his face. With the other hand, he wiped his eyes and pinched his nose. Inside his brown tweed blazer, his body perspired from mental exertion. His fingers struggled against the constriction of the light blue bow tie around his neck. He wondered how long he'd been in there. It was easy to lose track of time when your brain was in overdrive from extensive research on a particularly interesting subject. The library was dark, save for a few lamps spilling tiny pools of light here and there. He usually visited after hours, though he doubted this near anachronism of a place was in demand these days. With the advent of the internet, it was possible to do nearly all one's research from home. Still, Frank enjoyed the feel of a library, surrounded by books, works from thousands of years, and all in material, concrete presence. With a computer, sure, the information was there, but there was no feeling. He'd let himself get distracted by the thoughts and shook his head in frustration. Frank had been a professor of world and ancient history at Kennesaw State University for 15 years now. During that time, he had been pleased with the opportunity to travel to many different countries as a special guest of numerous IAA excavations. The IAA, or International Archaeology Agency, traveled the globe in search of ancient artifacts, most of which modern historians didn't believe existed. Fortunately for him, the IAA headquarters was near his home in Atlanta. The proximity and his expertise on so many ancient cultures and languages often guaranteed him as the first choice for many of the agency's research expeditions. Over the last decade, he had been to the Far East, Europe several times, Central and South America, and the most fascinating of all to him, the Middle East. In recent years, he had turned his attention from foreign countries to his own. Growing up in Northwest Georgia, he had a special interest in the history of the country now called the United States.